Good morning, I'm Jay Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the November 14th, 2019 edition of Bible Delight in the Details. We're going to look today at one verse of chapter 5 of the book of Ephesians. So, Ephesians 5, verse 1. Be imitators of God, even as dearly loved children. Comedy is a funny thing. What's funny to you may not be funny to me, and I found that it's a very dangerous thing to book comedians for conferences and all, because it's just it's just such a touchy thing. And some people love the slapstick humor of a Benny Hill, for example, or the Three Stooges, and other people find that kind of comedy just completely unfunny and prefer more witty things. And other people, they're offended by something, or it's a difficult thing. And you might say, well, why are you bringing that up? I'm bringing it up because a lot of times comedians will try to imitate other people. Have you ever noticed that? They do imitations of famous politicians. And I find that, and I think I'm not alone in this, if somebody is a really good imitator of somebody, like a Rich Little, for example, if they're really good at it, it is an absolutely fascinating and very entertaining exhibition. But on the other hand, we've all seen people who have tried to mimic somebody, and they're awful. And I find that I have a very, very little bit of patience with that. I don't like it. I'm like, okay, just stop. It's one of those things. It's funny. A lot of times in entertainment, you can tolerate and even appreciate sort of mediocre talent. But when it comes to imitators, people that are trying to do that professionally, if you will, if they're not good, it just rubs you the wrong way. It's like, get off the stage. I don't even want to hear another word out of you. Whereas with, people that are comedians, hey, you didn't like that joke. Well, I'll give you a little bit of grace, try a couple more and see if you can win me over. But not so with impersonators. I bring this up because it's very interesting, isn't it, that we are being told by Paul that we are to be imitators of Christ. Now, we have a very odd kind of view of imitators right now in the world, don't we? I mean, most of us are being told not to mimic other people. One of the famous sayings right now that you see written on T-shirts and mugs and plaques is, be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. Or be the best you that you can be. And we don't like people that just imitate other people. We say, be yourself. And we say it, be true to yourself, or be you, however you say it. But we do imitate other people. Sometimes we do it very intentionally, very consciously, and sometimes we do it more subconsciously. You are going to become the company you keep, so you better choose wisely. I tell this to my son Tristan all the time. I can even feel the influence of the people I'm around, some for the good, some not for the good. But you can, if you really start thinking about it, we are imitating each other. You can almost not help yourself. It even is like when you're around somebody and maybe they have a phrase that they say all the time. I guarantee you that even if that's not a phrase that you usually say, pretty soon you're going to start saying it, and you're not even going to mean to. It just slips out. We are to be imitators of Christ. We are to try to impersonate Christ. That is the whole intention of the gospel, is that we are to be made into the likeness, that means being like Christ. We're to act like him and talk like him and behave like him and have the mindset of him. What is that but impersonation, imitation? And yet, I think we need to realize that when we get it wrong, It's just like watching a bad impersonator. It's really annoying to other people. It's really bothersome. And they just want to say, will you just quit? Just quit even trying. So my friends, we must try to be good impersonators. And how do you do that? Well, when you are a greatly loved child, then you want to be like your parents because they love you, you love them. It's a mutual admiration system. And so you know how children watch and they mimic. That's how they learn. That's one of the ways they learn how to get along in this world. But you can't mimic well if you're not very observant. And so my question to all of us today is, are we being very observant of Christ? Do we study how he did it, how he interacted with people, what he said, when he said things, when he didn't say things? Do we observe enough to be good impersonators? Rich Little, the great impersonator, said that was the key to his success. He would study his subject for hours and hours, watching every nuance, every body language, every turn of phrase, every turn of head. Do we follow Christ that closely? Because without clear, focused, and consistent observation, impersonation will be not good and therefore very annoying for other people to watch. Something to think about today. I'm J. Lenore Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.